Hi, it's Abby, and I am one half of the Not Your Average Knitting podcast. It's been a while since Max and I have podcasted, so I thought I'd make a quick one today. Max hasn't knit in a while, and I have knit a ton in the last several months, so I have a ton of objects to show you and lots to talk about, so hopefully I do okay on my own. It feels weird talking to myself. I haven't done this much since online learning, so we'll hopefully get used to it. So let's get started. Life's been a bit crazy, but now I'm on a bit of a nice little relaxing break, so hopefully I can rejuvenate for the rest of this, bananas crazy school year. So cool. So I'd like to start with my finished objects. The first finished object I'm going to show you is just some accessories. So the first and second are, this is the Namu cowl. Sorry the lighting isn't great. I insist on having my Christmas tree, even though this is maybe not the best place to podcast. So I don't know. If you're offended by the lighting, just maybe watch a different episode. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry. So this is the Namu cowl, and it's by Knit Boop Designs, and the yarn is the Loop in Kensington. They're house worsted, and it's very soft and nice and warm. And then I decided to make a sort of matchy hat. The yarn is lichen and lace worsted in the colorway Poppy. And I got the pom-pom, which matches with the cowl perfectly, from Stash Lounge. And the hat, I got the lichen and lace from Villacula Handmade. So lots of local and Canadian happening, which makes me happy. The hat pattern is Link by Emily Green. I hope I mentioned that. And it's a nice, happy, cozy set. There's some of the reds in the cowl. I don't know if you can see it or not, but and that's why I picked the hat to kind of match. They're all just cabled and lovely. So that's FO1 and FO2. And then my next finished objects are all sweaters, go figure. So the first one I'll show today is, I finally finished my Airy Sweater by Isabel Kramer. So I'll show you first and then I'll put it on. This is in Lichen and Lace Rustic Sport, which I'm totally obsessed with. I did mistakenly say that it was naturally dyed, which is false. So if you remember me saying that in a past podcast, that's fake news. It is not naturally dyed, but nonetheless is beautiful. I'm really happy with how this finished object turned out. This is maybe not the outfit that I would wear it with, but it's really gorgeous. What I like about it is the yarn is quite warm because it is rustic, which it's aptly named Rustic Sport. And what I also like about it is that because it's rustic, it really holds its place well, so it really highlights the cables in the pattern. So anything cabled or anything color work is a really great project to use this yarn for. And it's Canadian, so what's not to love? Cool. And I really like this pattern. It's fairly relaxing. It is time consuming because of all the cables, but I think it's worth it in the end. So that's that one. And then my next finished object that I'm going to show you is my Yuri sweater. Now this one probably also won't look great with this outfit, but you'll forgive me. This is by Junko Okamoto, and the yarn is Fiber Goddess in her Anne colorway, which is 50% merino and then 50% silk. So it's really nice and light, and it's really perfect garment for warmer weather months. And yeah, I really liked this pattern. You do have to concentrate. It's not something that you can, like, until you split for the sleeves, you really have to concentrate. So it's not something that you can do if you're having a conversation or anything like that. Like, you kind of need to be by yourself for it. But it's a really beautiful pattern, and I actually knit it really fast because the color work, unlike most things that I do, was at the bottom of the sweater. So I just couldn't wait to get to the color work section, which is really, really fun. If you like color work, this is your garment. It's interesting too, because it is a one size fits all garment, which I haven't really done any of before, but it seems to fit me great, so that's awesome. And the yarn is super, I have nothing but good things to say about Fiber Goddess. Her yarn is stunning, and she is stunning. So yeah. What else? Oh yes, my Innovec. This was a fun, quick project. It is the pattern is by Karen Fernandez, and it is out of Noro Ito, which is an Aran weight yarn. I love Noro because so much of it has so much color that you just can't wait till you get to the next stripe to find out what color comes next. I think I'm gonna sneeze. Am I gonna? Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Whew. It's a Christmas tree. I blame it on the Christmas tree. I love the Christmas tree, but I'm also probably allergic to the Christmas tree. Yeah, so this is my Innovec, Noro Ito. What do I have to say about this? Yeah, you can't wait till you get to the next stripe, which is awesome. I learned a new stitch in this project, which is, I don't know if you can kind of see it. There. It's kind of hard to see. Sorry, the lighting's bad. The new stitch, it's called a crossed stitch, which is easy, and it creates kind of a cool detail. It's on the bottom and the top and the sleeves of the sweater. So yeah, and this one was really fun as well. It did hurt my hand, so I couldn't knit it for too long. I find I have trouble knitting on projects for long periods of time that are heavier, like, I don't know, like worsted or heavier. I do need to take breaks because my hands do get sore. Unlike, you know, if I'm knitting a fingering weight sweater or a sport weight sweater, they don't seem to get as tired for some reason. So anyway, but I did enjoy this project. It isn't size inclusive. I hope it does become size inclusive, because I actually think, I mean, I'm not a pattern designer, but now that I've knit it, I actually think it could be size inclusive. It's fairly quick to get through, and yeah, I think that there are some adjustments that could be made so that it could fit more people and more people could enjoy it, but that's just my thoughts as someone who does not do that. Yeah, so, and then the last FO that I'm going to show you today is my most recent one. I cast this off on Friday, and it is my Crusades, that's how you say it, Crusades cardigan. It is by the lovely and talented Heidi Kermeyer. It and the yarn is Fiber Goddess Downy DK. I am totally in love with this yarn. It is the softest DK yarn. It seriously is amazingly soft. The color is awesome. It's like a dark green, like a hunter green maybe. It's very rich green. The pattern is fairly relaxing and mindless to knit. It's just got some little like eyelet type details along the whole project, which is great. And I think this is going to be a staple for me. If you want to see better images of the project, please go to my Ravelry page because I have just updated it to have that. Great. Last but not least, I'll talk briefly about my whips. My first whip is from Lane Magazine, the 3rd issue. It is the Hay Sweater by Claire Mountain. I just today did a 3-needle bind off of the shoulders. So I'm just going to start working on the arms and then of course the neck this week. The yarn is Fiber Company Road to China Light in ametrine. I got this from the Fiber Nook in Edmonton. They don't carry Road to China Light in any of the stores in Calgary, but they do at the Fiber Nook in Edmonton. So I found them really helpful when I went in. They helped me pick out my color, and they were really quick to send it to Calgary, which I was happy for. It's always nice to get yarn in the mail that's, beautiful and soft. This yarn is really interesting because it is, let me just read. It's a luxurious blend of cashmere, camel, silk, and baby alpaca, which is kind of crazy. I've never knit with camel fibers before, but it's really, really soft. This would not be so good for things like cables just because it is so soft and so drapey that it doesn't have that same sturdiness that something like the lichen and lace has. I'm really excited to be done this and get to wear it because it'll be very cozy. So that's that. And then another project that I'm working on. Of course, I have more that are just hibernating, but these are the 3 that I'm focused on currently. This one is the Snow Crocus, and it is a sweater. Let me just look, by Midori Heroes. The pattern so far has been a little bit confusing for me to follow, and I don't know if it's just me or I don't know, but it seems a little confusing to follow, but I'm going to stick with it because I do think the pattern is really pretty, like when it's all done and knit up, and I'm just picturing the cables, and I know there's rewards for finishing, so I'm going to do my best. It's kind of like a green, but it's also got, the yarn is Julie Aslin Nurtured in Green Mountain, and the yarn is like green with some beige and some blue. Again, lighting not great, but Christmas tree. I'm gonna choose the Christmas tree, sorry. What else? Yeah, so that's Julie Aslin Nurtured. I've never worked with Julie Aslin Nurtured, but my friend, one of my knitting friends, is totally obsessed with it, so I thought I'd give it a try. And I'm really happy with it so far. It's got a lot of depth to the colors, and I think it'll hold the cables really nicely. So hopefully now that I have a little bit more brain power, I can put more time and effort into that project this week. And then the last project that that's my whips that's not hibernating is my Poet Sweater by Sari Nordland. This is not a sweater that you can do much else while you're making again. It's just, I don't know, there's a lot of details, but again, it's pretty, so I think it'll be worth it. I'm doing it in the Loop House fingering yarn, and the colorway is Weather Gods Zeus, and as you can see, it's a little bit sparkly, which is kind of fun. So I'll show you. So I think that'll be really nice as well. Hopefully I can get at least one more project finished over my winter break, and hopefully Max and I can meet soon, probably via Zoom because of our restrictions in Alberta. So hopefully we can meet soon via Zoom, rhyming, to chat more in the future. Last but not least, listening wise, I haven't really been listening to much, but I think I'm going to start putting on the classical music Christmas carols, just listening to some of those this week because Christmas. So yeah, that's all for now. Thanks for tuning in to this very brief episode. I hope I did Max and I justice. Anyways, bye.